Every life tells a story. Join Frank Julian as he shares his one chapter at a time from Story of a Soul 2, releasing every Wednesday.
The Story of a Soul 2 by Frank Julian with Sean O'Neill, narrated by Frank Julian. Chapter 12, The Weekend That Changed My Life. I remember going home for Memorial Day weekend for just a night to gather my things. I was supposed to go to Notre Dame for a huge Catholic Charismatic convention of over 35,000 people with more than 1,000 priests present. When I got home, it was Ascension Thursday, and I attended Mass. My mother informed me that there was a guest priest residing at the parish for the summer. His name, she said, was Father Song. She said that I would like him because he was friendly and greeted the people at the church with kindness and a big smile. I went to the church and Father Song was saying the Mass and greeted me. I thought that this was all there was to it, unaware of the role that all this would have in God's plan. At the conference in Notre Dame, I found myself sleeping in a big tent with monks. We were wet. It rained all weekend. Nevertheless, I loved every minute of it. I watched them pray during the day and at night, and we all slept in sleeping bags. That Saturday, I went to different seminars, and I got my boxed lunch. I saw Father Song. We embraced and planned to hang out that summer when I got home. It was all divine providence. I will never forget that Saturday night in the stadium at Notre Dame. I would come to find out that I felt just like Rudy from the popular movie released many years later. As I looked up at the touchdown Jesus with his hands lifted up like mine, everyone was praising and singing to God with all their heart, and the 1,000 priests formed a circle on the field and danced before the Lord. I knew I was no longer a Catholic charismatic. I was a charismatic who was Catholic. I was completely taken in by the Holy Spirit. The priest who was preaching began to say to the Lord, "Give us a sign, Lord." I'm telling you directly and honestly that the rain stopped, the clouds parted, and the people began to shout, "Look, there's a star." There it was. I saw it and wept. I came home a different man. I was aglow with the Holy Spirit and went to prayer meetings practically every night. I wrote earlier that I was working in the operating room shining for Jesus, and my professional and spiritual work was truly going well. I was hanging out with Father Song. One evening, my mother hosted a dinner for 4 priests, encouraging me to join the clergy. My mother was delighted. Deep inside, however, I knew that wasn't going to happen. I went to a wedding in Grand Rapids with an Italian girl from West Catholic. She had me meet her grandfather. He showed me his garden. This is getting serious, I thought. On the way home, though, I thought of Peggy, and I knew in that moment that I wanted only to go with her. She went to Appalachia for 2 weeks with the IHM nuns. They were encouraging her to be a nun. She said that she thought of me the whole time. Our lives were finally beginning to run parallel to one another, all in God's timing.
Thank you for listening. Join Frank Julian every Wednesday for a new chapter of Story of a Soul 2. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter.